Do you have a rose that's kind of acting funny? Maybe you have some shoots growing up out of the soil or growing at the base of your plant and you don't know what it is. I'm Melissa from Rooted Home and Garden. Today I'm going to be showing you what to keep and what to get rid of right away. So we are at my chicken garden right now, and this is my Eden climber that I have growing up on my chicken coop. And some of it looks really good, some of it doesn't. Those hopefully beetles have destroyed a lot of my blooms. Here's a whole bunch of them just enjoying the feast. Darn things. But if you have a plant that looks beautiful like this, minus the Hoplia beetles, but at the base, something's going up like this. So this is the stem to my rose bush. But if you notice, there's a whole bunch of stuff growing out of the ground, not even at the base. Now there are two options that this could be. It could either be a basal break or it could be a sucker. Suckers are something you want to get rid of right away. What it's doing is it's actually taking all the nutrients from your main plant and sending it to itself. Now how suckers actually work are roses are grafted on top of another rose. So if that's the case, what's happening is the other rose that has been rooted onto the plant is actually trying to emerge and take ownership again. But we didn't buy this plant for something else to take over. No. So if it is a sucker, you want to remove it completely right away. Well, how do you know if it's a sucker? I'm going to tell you. Suckers emerge from below the graft union. A graft union is that little bump at the base of your plant. If it's emerging from below that graft union, then more than likely it is a sucker that is growing. Oftentimes the stem looks a little different. It might be thin, light green, the leaves look different. If that's the case, that is the other rose trying to take hold and actually gain dominancy over your plant. So what you're going to want to do is remove the dirt from that area, and you're going to cut down as deeply as you possibly could. It's actually best if you break it with your fingers rather than if you use scissors, because using scissors or cutters, for example, we'll just make a clean, I've got something in my eye. So what you're going to want to do is actually remove some of the soil from where the area is emerging from. Then you're going to want to cut it out of there. You can use scissors, you can use your clippers, but it's best to actually use your fingers and just snap it off. The snapping of it off is actually going to kind of rip it off. And that makes it's an uneven cut. Having a nice straight cut with scissors or clippers, more than likely it's just going to grow back again, and that's fine too. You can totally do that. It just be prepared that you might have to do that a little bit more often. Now, not all roses are grafted. So how do you know if your rose has been grafted or not? So number one, you're going to look and see if you have a graft union on your plant. It's a big old knob at the base of your plant. If you don't have that, you may very well just have your plant on its own original stock. Now here's the good news. If you do not have a graft union, that means your rose hasn't been grafted. And if it hasn't been grafted, you don't have suckers. It's actually just the plant growing. So I'm going to be observing mine and seeing, okay, what exactly is mine? Is mine grafted? Is it not grafted? Is it its own rootstock growing, or is it a sucker growing? If yours or mine just happen to be a basal break, we have two options. And even if you're not sure it's a sucker, you have this option as well. You can leave it on and see what ends up happening. If it produces a bloom that's the same as yours, then you know it's your plant. If it produces a flower that doesn't resemble your flower at all, you know that it's a sucker. So you can choose to leave it be, or you can choose to cut it out. So let's look at my leaves. This is the shape of my leaf right here. It's beautiful, it's pointy, it's shiny. Now let's look at the new plant that's growing. I've got some bronzy colored leaves right here. That's a good sign. That is a sign of this may just be more Eden climbers that's growing. But let's look at the more mature leaves down here. These very much look like my Eden climber. Now if we notice right here, this is where it's growing right out of the ground. So here is my plant right here. This looks like a knob where something has been grafted on. So I'm not quite sure. But see, I have stuff growing out of the ground right there, or right here. So because mine's growing out of the ground so far away from my rose, I could absolutely just come in here with a small shovel and kind of chop it out and see, maybe I can plant it somewhere else, see what actually happens. Or I can just leave it on here and let it do the same thing just to try to figure it out. What I already know is I don't want to change the look of my Eden climber. I have a specific style that I'm doing this. It's a very delicate, it's light, so I know I'm going to remove this regardless if it's an Eden climber or if it's a sucker. So if it's a sucker, you want to go down to the ground, find exactly where it is. Now this has thorns all the way down, so I'm not even going to attempt to even just rip it out. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it. Just like that. There's multiple, so we're going to just get rid of multiple of these. A new one growing right here, a little baby one. Just going to cut it out. There we go. Oh, one more. And now my rose is protected once again.